Here we go. What has made Andrew Tate so influential and one of the most Googled men of our time? I'm Dr. Dan. I'm a neurostrategist and a communication coach. I teach leaders how to grow their business through the power of storytelling. So I gotta be honest, I had never heard of this guy prior to about 2.5 months ago. The word that came across when I was introduced to him was controversial. So if you've watched Andrew Tate, which I'm sure you've seen plenty of him by now, if you haven't, do yourself a little bit of a favor and just Google him and spend a little time watching him. There's a reason why he's been influential. Now, I'm not telling you to be like Andrew Tate. That's not why I do a video. I do a video like this to break down the neuroscientific strategies he is implementing day by day to create his influence. I think that not only you'll be shocked, but my goal is that you actually adopt some of these in your own life, in your own business, so that you can have influence, not being like Andrew Tate, but utilizing the principles and the strategies because they are quite impressive. Also, stick around to the end of this one. I'm gonna give my opinion at the end of this video why I believe Andrew Tate has capitalized on a significant opportunity that would be in your best interest as well. So as I get into this, the first thing I want to make sure you understand is this thing called mirror neurons. When you communicate, there are mirror neurons of the people you're trying to reach that feel you before they hear you. Research shows that these little neurons in the brain are wired to feel the thing that we're hearing. So for instance, if I told you a good story about tasting lemonade, you would actually have neurons in your brain triggered that is essentially like drinking that lemonade. So when it comes to communication, you can utilize the power of these mirror neurons by getting somebody to feel your message. And the number one way you do that is that you feel it. So Andrew Tate believes and is convicted of his own hype. Call it what you want, believe in it, like it or not, he believes it. And so this is a message to you, is do you believe what you're saying? I am totally fascinated by the fact that he understands whether you like him or not. If you're talking about him, he's winning and he's making more money. His conviction has made his bold proclamations and beliefs and opinions, and it turns out that whether you like them or not, in fact, even if you don't like him, you're most likely paying attention to him. Very controversial, yes. Polarizing, yes. But noteworthy, yes. I teach a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs how to have greater success with their communication, how to get more conversions, how to get more attention, how to increase their marketing, how to drive revenue through the power of storytelling. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that I find across the board is that so many entrepreneurs are attached to what people think about them and attached to the outcomes. So it's like they need their clients or their prospects more than the prospects need them. And so the first thing that I have to teach them is we've got to get more people wanting what you have. Be more findable to the people who want what you have. Then you've got more people coming in and you can detach yourself from needing them. There's a mirror neuron effect that you put out there that people feel when you're needy. The second thing is that he's very polarizing, but he's also articulate. And this is unique, that you don't see many leaders who are polarizing get influence like he has if you don't have an ability to articulate yourself. If you watch him in his Piers Morgan interview, he got put on the spot a lot of times, and Piers is really good at revealing people and is trained to ask the questions to show that you're inconsistent. And I watched that interview and I gotta say, Andrew Tate knew exactly what Piers was doing, called him out, and then in my opinion was able to have the jury, i.e. the viewers, be the true judge of what was happening there. And so you can't have that if you haven't thought deeply about why you believe what you believe. He's polarizing, yes, but he has deep convictions, and it's not that it's his first rodeo. Like, he has a reason why he believes what he believes. And so when you're in the heat of an argument or a debate, can you stay calm and poised because you know your stuff so deeply? And that's why I challenge you. I challenge every communicator is that you got to go deep with your stuff. That 10,000 hour rule that Malcolm Gladwell quoted from the 93 Erickson research, showing that you can't just act like you know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're talking about. As a communication researcher, when I study the brain, it turns out that the brain feels your message before it hears your message, as I said. And so with Andrew, you can tell that there's a depth to him that's at least worthy of listening to. And for him, it comes across very bold. And then here's the biggie. Andrew Tate has strong communication because 55% of his communication is body language. And if you look at Andrew Tate, he's fit, he's muscular, he's a former kickboxer. He has the pedigree to walk into a room or be on an interview or be on a video and have you respond to his message because his body language is so strong. There was research done in 2018 out of the UK. They took 4,000 people and they evaluated them. It showed that those individuals who were 20% over their ideal weight made less income. In other words, those who are overweight actually make less money. When it comes to communication, your body language says a lot. And this isn't fat shaming. This is saying the human brain receives information, and if it sees somebody that is overweight, it will already have a judgment. This isn't being judgmental. It's the brain judging and predetermining who that person is. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. What I'm saying is a guy like Andrew Tate and others who have strong body language actually command presence. They command respect. And you combine that with his kickboxing days and his willingness to fight and battle, he's got strong body language. So your body language, when you walk into a room, when you're on a video, when you're on a stage, actually says just as much, if not more, than your words. So think about that in your own sales and in your own communication. Along with his communication is the fact that his tone or vocal variety is good. He gets very animated, he gets very excited, he talks about very polarizing things, which actually gets him more excited. And so as it turns out, he's abiding the principles of communication. 38% of your communication and his and mine and everybody you've ever known is from your tone or your vocal variety. And the secret sauce or a hack or a shortcut to having better tone or vocal variety is to be passionate. Scripts will kill your charisma. Scripting makes you monotone. We want you to have variety in tone because that's what actually moves the needle when it comes to the brain of another human. And the other thing that is my passion in life is to teach the power of story. Well, it turns out for Andrew Tate, his life is the story. And so he just talks about his life over and over and over and over again. That's what attracts people. And it's interesting when you study the power of story is that that's why people are drawn to you. They have a level of trust with you when you tell your story the right way. And so whether you like him or not, there's respect to be had for that. He has then created what is called Hustlers University. Because he's so polarizing and he created this program on how to be just like him or how to have his success or how to get his money, he's got a bunch of people out there taking his program and becoming affiliates and selling it. So they don't need their own thing, they just sell his. It's actually a really smart model when you want a lot of people talking about you. It's what they would call a pyramid scheme. All these kids and young entrepreneurs can take his program and then sell it, and ultimately, he's got a lot of people talking about him. And then here's something very interesting that I said at the beginning, is that he has capitalized on a crazy time in society. When a boy can wake up and believe they are a girl and change their gender, he has taken his message to say, that is not right. And he's capitalized on ideas and topics just like that he has now become so polarized when he's talking about women, when he's talking about politics, when he's talking about money, when he's talking about friends and loyalty. And hear me when I say this, the liberal left has gone so far left that I believe a guy like Andrew Tate, whose message is all the way on the other side, is so attractive because people don't necessarily want this anymore, or at least they're seeing that's kind of crazy. I'm more drawn to this. I tell you this because every crisis and challenge presents an opportunity. And there's a time and a place right now that it's not only important to attract the right people, it's important to repel the right people. And that is in your personal life as well as in your business. And when you learn how to communicate and you're bold about what you have and you're convicted like Andrew Tate is, you start to move people because they feel you just as much as they hear you. And Andrew has nailed that. So props to you, Andrew. I don't believe in everything that he says or believes, but that's the beauty of this country. That's the beauty of platforms like this one, that we get to have a belief and opinion. But he's doing some things right. And you can too when you nail this communication thing. Subscribe to the channel, hit like, get the content that I put out that most people would charge for, because I want to help you have success in an opportune time like this. I'm Dr. Dan, and I'm out.